Hey, how you doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild West. And today, assisting me with making this video today, what you doing, buddy? I got Batman. This is my buddy Batman. This is our dog Batman. My daughter's dog. He's a good guy. He's a beagle mix. And his name is Batman. 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 Yes, he is. That's my buddy. Yeah, that's my buddy. Okay, sit down, Batman. Everybody got to see you. Everybody got to see you, buddy. Go ahead and sit down. Sit. That's my buddy. Stay. Stay. That's a good boy. That's my buddy. Okay, what we're going to talk about today is the BT fighter from CRKT. The Brian Ti fighter from CRKT. This is a large version. And it's a copy of the 3.75 inch blade Brian Ti fighter, that the custom model that he makes. It's almost the exact copy. Except for this one has, was it glass reinforced fiber polyamide handle scales. Polyamide handle scales. Whatever polyamide is. But I'm going to call it plastic. It's got plastic handle scales instead of aluminum handle scales that have been CNC machined. But the pattern of the handle scales is exactly like the pattern of the handle scales of the BT fighter. The BT fighter has aluminum handles. The standard BT fighter looks the one that looks just like this. It has aluminum, black anodized or different color anodized aluminum handle scales, or aluminum handles, should I say? And 154 cm blade. And the blade, instead of being this one is 3.23 millimeters. 3.23 millimeters thick. The Brian Ti version is 5 millimeters thick. Instead of having a thin tip like this one, the Brian Ti version has a big, strong, reinforced tip. It's a real Tonto. After doing my research and seeing what the real Brian Ti one looks like, it made me want to get the real Brian Ti one. And so I got one of those on order. It's on its way. But I wanted to get the USA made Brian Ti. And it's an MG, or what do you call him? It's one that he had, I think the blades are ground by somebody else or something like that. What do they call him? An MG? I'm not sure what, they have all these new names for, or tech, I don't know, whatever. But it's not the version that's handmade by him. It's factory made, I think, for him through another company that's making his exact knives. Sort of like Cameo did with the fighting bowies that they made. But this one has ball bearings, just like the other one. The other one is the Ti-Tac 2. And this is an exact copy of another knife too that Brian Ti makes. I didn't know all that until I did some research on Brian Ti. I must admit, I didn't know that much about Brian Ti until I started doing some research on him when I got this knife. And then when this knife came, I did even a little bit more research, and I found all the knives that looked exactly like these. I'll give you a post so you can, I'll link you to a post so you can go look at them for yourself and you can see what I'm talking about. But these are almost exact copies of the Brian Ti models, except for they're made in a lot less costly materials. Like I said, the plastic handle scales and back spacers and inexpensive steel, 8CR 13 MOV steel instead of 154 cm steel, and plastic handle scales instead of aluminum handles. They use this same pocket clip on them, and they use the same pin. Well, it looks similar. It looks a little bit fancier than this pin, pivot pin, but it still looks like it has either, I don't know if that's supposed to be a shamrock or an iron cross. I was calling a Maltese cross before, and that was wrong. It's an iron cross I was thinking of. The iron cross is the cross that the Nazis had, and that's what was sort of bothering me about this one when I first saw it. But you know what? Looking at it again, I don't know if it's supposed to be an iron cross or a shamrock, like an Irish four-leaf clover. It looks more like an iron cross, to be truthful. But it sort of reminds me of like the fireman's cross, too. I don't know. But all I can say is that these are some really nice, the way that they fit in your hand, both of these are really nice knives, the way that they fit in your hands. I like this one a little bit more because it's a little bit beefier and a little bit bigger. I can't wait to get the new one, the real Brian Ti, so I can so I can compare it with this one for you guys. It'll probably be here by the end of this next week. But this is a model 5225 BT Fighter Ti design. That's what it says on this side. This side says Columbia River Knife and Tool CRKT. Let you check out the thickness of the blade. I carried this to work today. It carries really nicely in your pocket. It's fun to fidget with. And one thing about these knives that I sort of like about these, even though these are button locks aren't my favorite locks. Button locks are like the lock that they're mainly used for, like automatics, especially like American-made automatics from high-end manufacturers like ProTech and Hogue and different companies. And this one works really good. It's just got a slight tick up and down. Side to side is solid, but it's got a slight tick up and down. Let me see what this one looks like. This one's got less of a tick up and down, but it's got little tiny up and down. This one's got a little bit side to side. The side to side on this one is because I loosened up the pivot, I bet. If this one doesn't have any side to side, just got a little bit up and down. And that tells me that maybe it's the way these are manufactured or whatever the tolerance is, might be a little bit not perfect. Because both of these have a touch of up and down play. But I actually really like them though. And I want to see what the real one looks like. After getting these, I didn't really know about Brian Ti, but now I do know about Brian Ti, and I want to try one of his real knives, and see if it's, and compare it to the CRKT remake of his knife. Because I know it's going to be even better than this. I just know it's going to be because it's a thick blade, it's a heavier knife. I think it's 5.7 ounces. And I love the action on these. And these knives, even if they were to, the lock was to fail, it wouldn't fold back on your hand. And that's what's important to me. Because I've had a liner lock knife, a Benchmade AFCK liner lock, fold back on my hand and cut up my hand really bad. And that's the reason why I don't like liner locks. But that one didn't have the flipper. And the flipper, when it comes down, with the big finger choil, you put your finger in here, and you hold it, and you're holding on to the handle like you're supposed to be holding on to it. If the lock was to come and disengage, it's not going to be able to fold back on your hand because your finger would stop the lock from folding back on your hand. Same thing if you're in the reverse grip. If the lock comes undone, I'm undoing the lock. The pinky is going to stop it. So I think this is a fairly safe knife, which makes me like it. I like knives that are safe and lightweight. And to me, a 5-ounce knife is what I would call a lightweight knife. 5.7 ounces, anything under 6 ounces I call light. When things start being heavy to me, it's like when they go over 6 ounces. And when they're really heavy, that's when they start going over like 8 ounces. I absolutely love this one. I think the design is awesome. The handle, it's got a few little hot spots. So like if you were to if you were doing an extended cutting task with this, I think it might bother your hand a little bit because the pocket clip, it rubs against my palm right here. Right up in here. But I like this pocket clip though. It works really nicely, you know, pulling in out of your pants. It works really nicely, so I don't know. I like this pocket clip, but it does, I can feel it against my hand right here. It makes little indentations in your hand. Let me see if I can show you. See right there. So that's the only complaint I got about the handle. The rest of, you know, the balance of the knife is right behind the finger choil, which is nice. It's got nice balance. Easy to manipulate in your hand. Feels a lot like a Cold Steel Recon. I don't know if you're familiar with Cold Steel Recons and what they feel like in your hand. This feels a lot like a Recon to me. The size of it and the feel of it, the weight of it, the balance, it feels a lot like a Recon 1. A 4-inch Recon 1, that is. The large size, not the extra large. I absolutely love this one. I like it a lot more than this one. Now this one's really cool though if you want a small knife. And the pocket clip on this one doesn't bother your hand. It doesn't bother my hand at all. And it's a nice deep carry pocket clip with the recessed screws. So it's not gonna interfere with you. And it's got full stainless steel liners, just like the other one. This blade is awesome. I like the blade grinds on the blade. And it functions awesomely. There's one person that was saying that if you push down on it, you can make the lock fill. I can't do it on these. Neither one of them will fill. The lock will fill if you push down on the spine of the blade. But I'm gonna carry this one for a little bit, and you know, and then when the other one comes, when the real one comes, the real Brian Ti comes, we'll do a comparison of them then. We'll do another video, and I want to compare these to that. I started to get this one too, the real one of these, but it's not my favorite folder, and I didn't want to spend, you know, $200 on getting some that I'm not really attracted to because of its size and stuff. This one's a little bit too small for me. The handle's small. I like this handle better. The handle fits my hand better. So I decided to go ahead and get another one of these. Only get the Brian Ti, the real one. But anyway, that's about all I got for you today. Anything you want to say, Batman? Anything you want to say, buddy? Huh? You want to say anything? No? Want to say hi to everybody out there in YouTube land? No? Oh, okay, he took off. All right. Well, that's it for today. Peace out. Hope you all enjoy the video.